Right, 3 October 2024. And today I've had to come back in the evening because there is a massive breaking story. And I don't know if you've heard, General, that Chinga Dube, who is a former senior member of the ZANU-PF structures and a defense person, a general, has died at the Mater Dei Hospital only a few weeks after he spoke against the ED 2030. What do you think? What's your view on what is happening here?
First of all, Zimbabwe, I want to say, may his soul rest in peace, Chinga Dube. He was a war veteran. He fought for our country. He fought for Zimbabwe, for it to be Zimbabwe. He fought for black people, so he represent Zimbabwean people. But the issue now that we have, the problem is the winner takes all issue. In Zimbabwe, that's what is costing us good people. It's costing us the good souls, those who had Zimbabwe at heart. Most of them are gone because of the system which is called the winner takes all. If someone opposes you, most probably you either lose your life or you get incarcerated or you get arrested or you have to flee the country. We have an issue that needs to be resolved. Our politics is very toxic. The toxicity levels of our politics, it's off the charts. We call ourselves a democratic country, but I don't see democracy in Zimbabwe. I don't see people free. I don't see the freedom of the people in Zimbabwe. Hence, today we have lost one of the good people that had Zimbabwe at heart, that had Zimbabwean people at heart. So my heart is saddened, and I'm left with only the sorrows that how can we move forward as Zimbabweans if we can't sit at the same table, even though we have different views. I quoted Mugabe saying, regardless of our political diversities, we are Zimbabweans. We should learn to live together, even though we might have different views in politics. We might have different opinions in politics. We should be able to live together. So may his soul rest in peace. He is a war veteran. I respected him, and I respect him until today. And I wish he was here today, resolving some of the issues that we face in Zimbabwe.
Okay. I think, President, what I'm going to do is let's let the issue settle. What I've realized is that he was one of the people that spoke against this ED 2030. This happened less than 2 weeks ago when he says that he is going to go and speak to everyone and understand what it is that Mnangagwa plans to do with the ED 2030. He said that people are just speaking about this ED 2030, and it must be that someone else supports it, and they want to go and find out why people are continuing to talk about ED 2030. Very strange that is to die now, and suddenly. I cannot believe that this has happened, General. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
What I can say is we need to do away with the politics of hate. We need to do away with the politics of if you don't support me, if you do not get along with my idea, you have to be either arrested or removed from the space, from the political space. The winner takes all system that was placed by Ian Smith. We need to do away with that politics. At this moment, I do not have proof to point fingers, but what I can say now is the toxicity in our political arena is too much. We are losing the good people, people that have a potential of changing Zimbabwean lives, of changing Zimbabwe as a country because of the toxicity that we have in our politics. We should be able to live together even though we have different views. We should be able to work together even though we don't think the same because we were not born the same. Anyone with an idea of building Zimbabwe, anyone with an idea of moving Zimbabwe forward should be accommodated to the table. Even if we don't agree to that table, to that idea, should be allowed to air his views, should be allowed to say what he thinks. So Chinga Dube was that person who was against the toxicity of politics. He was a constitutionalist. I see him as a person that wanted a better Zimbabwe for all, a person that wanted a free Zimbabwe for all. So may his soul rest in peace. But at this point, I can't point fingers who did what. But we are losing people, the good people that we are left with. Chinga Dube fought for Zimbabwe as a country. He fought for the Zimbabwean people. He fought for us to be black. So I believe that if he was allowed a chance to live more, he could have given us more in terms of freedom, in terms of democracy, in terms of constitutionalism. But unfortunately, he was denied those years or days to live. And at this moment, I can't point fingers, but I can only say the toxicity level in our country, we have to do away with that. If we want to move on as a free Zimbabwe, as a democratic Zimbabwe, we have to do away with that.
Okay, I get you, President in General. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Let us digest what has just happened. Less than 30 minutes
Thank you,
ago.
Zimbabwe.
Yes, that news come out.
Thank you, Zimbabwe. And I hope we stay in a right path to free Zimbabwe. I hope we stay in the right path to Zimbabweans, not only a few elites. And let's not waste lives that can change Zimbabwe. Let's not fight each other for Zimbabwe because we all belong to our motherland, Zimbabwe. Last week, I still remember I said it's homeland or nothing. We will fight for our own freedom. We will fight for our democracy. As long as we don't have freedom, Zimbabwean people, we need to stand up and fight. Yes, there are consequences in each and every action that we take, but as long as it has to do with the freedom of the people of Zimbabwe, it is the right thing to do. So I applaud Chinga Dube for standing against the 2030 mantra. I applaud him for fighting for Zimbabwe. I applaud him for fighting for the black people to be black, for us to rule ourselves. So may his soul rest in peace. He's a hero. Thank you, Gambako.
Thank you very much, President, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Right, so I think what we've covered here with the general is sufficient. And what we're going to do is let us wait and see what is going to happen. And I'll give you guys more details tomorrow. Tshinga Dube recently, less than a month ago, spoke about against people who were saying Mnangagwa should go for a third term. He said that people now need to go and confront Mnangagwa and find out why he's allowing people to continue saying that he must go until 2030. And today he's died. This man was moving around less than a month ago, and I'll try to find you that video of his last speech. And my understanding is that he was heavily opposed to the ED 2030 group. So let's see what is going to happen. My general Argubatwa say Ishwa. That is what I always say. My general Argufa left, right, and center. So if you're a general, less than 10 minutes ago, what did I say? I was just kidding, but it's turning out to be very, very serious. Who knows who's going to drop next? But someone has dropped. I said it. These next 4 weeks are very, very dangerous. Going to the ZANU-PF Annual People's Conference, because decisions that are going to be made there are going to determine succession. So succession is big. And at the end of October, by 27 October, the landscape in Zimbabwe will be totally different. So many things are going to happen, and it's all going to happen in these 4 weeks. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and a good